everyone, Amanda Munchies here, and we are on the Bud Show. This is Season 2, Episode 7, Session 1, and we are super excited about this show because it is all about patients, and we just have so much good stuff to share with you and knowledge that I am just super blessed to be amongst these amazing people and to have you all here. So let me shut up and let's just get right down to it. A wonderful Munchie sponsor, who if anyone's ever watched our show, they should know who you are. And if they don't watch our show, they're going to know who you are because you got some really exciting news. So I don't know if you want to share that now or make people wait a little bit.
We'll wait for it.
But who are you and where can you be found and what did you bring today?
Awesome. Well, hi everybody. I'm D Treats. We're a CBD organic edible company here in Arizona. I like to think I'm the second largest because I'm the only one that does CBD, pure CBD. I brought some awesome edibles today from our D Treats Edible Kitchen line and our D Treats Gummy Bear line. We're all CBD infused, and we are moving into bigger, better things, more full spectrum. We're in the middle of working on our THC licensing. So I'm going to just go ahead and top off what we brought here today. The first thing on the right is our peanut butter power crunch bar. So everyone calls it Rice Krispie treats. Ours is just a little bit different. It's 100 milligrams of nano-amplified CBD, B12, electrolytes, a little something else in there for vitality. So pretty much it's a very healthy, good power bar for you. We also give you a little 5 milligrams of ginseng inside there for a little bit of energy boost that's natural.
And that one?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
So it doesn't give you enough energy to give you like energy. It just gives you a nice feeling of energy.
And what are these?
Those are our world-renowned terpene gummy bears. Those are our blue raspberry OG gummy bears. Everyone loves them. Everyone knows us for them. We have a whole line of terpene-infused gummy bears, over 15 different strains that we do. We're doing different more. We just came up with a new nano raspberry drop line, which is really awesome. It tastes like an actual raspberry. It's super squishy, but it has the form of a gummy bear, and it has a lot more than just CBD in it that helps the body and the endocannabinoid system work on a homeostasis system in your body, giving you a lot better reception of your cannabinoids.
CBD is good for anxiety, taking away inflammation.
Yes,
right?
CBD is a really good source. CBD is in our system. Every human being has an endocannabinoid system. With that being said, we produce cannabinol in our system, and as we get older, our bodies start producing less and less cannabinoids in our system. We start becoming endocannabinoid deficient. By resupplementing our body with CBD or full spectrum hemp or THC with CBD, we are resupplementing the endocannabinoid system, giving us a homeostasis, which is equalization of all the systems in our body, letting our body get a more what is called a vitality reimbursement of our body to heal 5 to 7 times faster than we naturally do when the free radicals in our body are breaking things down. So CBD all in essence is just a very viable thing that bonds to our cells.
Good
naturally.
for you, like vitamins. So right.
It's better than vitamins.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, if people have this misconception that it's this horrible cannabis thing, they should look at it like
the thing that is,
it's good for our system.
Vitamins are more of a supplement to keep your nutrition going. This is a way of life. Like, you can live off CBD, you can live off cannabis, you can live off hemp. You can eat this and live off it, and the nutritional benefits of hemp itself is astronomical. So it's just putting this into a really good system of organic refined products that are not processed. That's the most thing. Processed refined sugars. Get them out of all the products.
And your bears are gluten-free, correct?
They're gluten-free.
What does that mean?
So there's no gluten inside of them. We're also sugar-free, which means that we do not use any processed sugars. We use natural sugars. Natural sugars from the fruit complex and the vegetable complex that we use that come from the fruit juice itself.
And the Munchies approved.
They're so tasty.
They're so good.
Yes, Miss Vicky over here, she is a diehard fan of the blue raspberry.
We brought them in. We brought them in for you whenever you would like some. Feel free to grab some. We're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna cut this bad boy, but this.
I did bring a knife.
Okay.
But it's not that hard like a Rice Krispie treat because it is organic Rice Krispies. They literally just break apart nicely.
Oh, I'm excited. We also have down there some other good stuff that I can't wait to tell everybody about from our guests. So we're going to keep going around our circle. We're going to pass like a joint this time to our left. And tell us who you are, if you don't mind. And
I'm Vicki Lockhart. I'm on Instagram as Vicki Ray Lockhart.
You are.
Woo.
And you are a patient. How long have you been a patient?
I have been smoking marijuana for 44 years.
Okay. That's a long
I
time.
had cancer as a child. They didn't expect me to live past 13. And I not only made it to 13, I had more cancer at 14 and more cancer at 17. So by the time I was in my mid-20s, I was starting to come into pretty bad shape. I was losing one kidney, and I found pot, and I could sleep. I wasn't nearly in so much pain, daily pain, and my family didn't understand it, but I didn't care.
When you find that relief, there's no, I would say for many people, there's no turning back if you find it. You know?
Oh, it's been a godsend for me, and I think the thing that I get most out of pot is the fact that I get collateral circulation from pot. I have really bad circulation from having so much radiation, and
Circulation of your blood.
of my
Just
blood.
to make sure I know
Yeah,
what you're
I have
talking
20
about.
inches of fake arteries to help move my blood around.
Okay.
That I had done 10 years ago. Mayo's did that. And if it wasn't for the collateral circulation, I don't know what I would do. Seriously.
You are like so strong, and I'm so thankful that you're here, and we've chatted before, and we've met several times, and you come out to events, and you support the community all the time, and I think you are such a trooper.
We try to have a lot of fun.
You sure do, you sure. So how do you medicate? I mean, what do you find works? Is smoking what works best? Do you do edibles? Do you have a mixture of things that
I
works for you?
love edibles. I love edibles because they have that staying power, a little bit more staying power.
Right.
I love that.
Right. People don't realize
But
you
we-
smoke it.
we smoke
You
that.
get high fast, but you also come down a little bit faster when you smoke cannabis,
Very
right?
true.
As opposed to the edibles or some of the other.
Yeah, and one of the things that I like about smoking pot is that I can shut my mind off and I can go to sleep at night.
Yes.
That's
Wow.
what they say, smoke a joint
Yes.
before the event.
Yeah. For anyone
And I
who's
get a good
literally-
night's sleep.
Yes.
Like normally, without smoking pot, if I turn over in the middle of the night, turning over, that's kind of waking up a little bit, stirs up the pain a little bit, hard to get back to sleep. Pot, I could turn over in the middle of the night and not really realize it and not wake up and sleep a full night.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because you have cannabinoids in your system. You're building them.
And as a patient, you don't just use any cannabis, right? I'm sure you've gotten to know your medicine, right? So
Right.
you probably use indicas at night. Or
Exactly.
people who don't know, like you can't just medicate anytime. If someone says, oh, I smoked marijuana and it made me really paranoid, you probably had a sativa that wasn't necessarily, like, it probably was a paranoid brand, or sativas in general make me a little bit more anxious. So like, for me, I know I have to smoke, hybrid sativas during the day, and then for me, indicas at night to shut off my brain. That does not stop. So
I found that if you look at the terpenes that each pot offers, that you can really set yourself up better for what your body needs.
okay, yeah.
And I do like my sativas in the day. It keeps me going.
Mhm.
Indicas at night.
Mhm.
Love it, love it.
Yeah. And then CBD too. You use that as well.
Yes, I do. I do. And I absolutely love the gummies. I have really bad digestion. I mean, my trunk of my body has just been burned by radiation. I'm very thin. I can't gain weight. My body doesn't pick up as much nutrients going through my body as normally would. I have a lot of problems with digestion. If it wasn't for gummies, I seriously don't know how I would survive. Seriously. I used to be in emergency quite often. I hardly ever am in emergency anymore. I'm digesting food better. I'm eating better. I'm actually gaining a little bit of weight. It's been very difficult, but it does make a difference.
Well, and I think a lot of people today, I always hear where people talk about CBD, and one of the things is like, well, I didn't feel anything or it didn't do anything. It's like, wait a minute. you took CBD because you didn't want to get high, you didn't want to feel it just for no. So like you're not necessarily, it's not going to be this instantaneous head high or thing that you're going to, like when you take antibiotics or anything, it's a long period of time where you take it and it impacts you. And so I feel like CBD, because it's so close to THC, people think they take it because they don't want to, a lot of people take it because they don't want to get high, but then they don't get high and they're like, it's not working. And it's like, wait, that's not it. That's
They're
not
expecting
it.
a high when they shouldn't be.
Right. They're expecting to feel something, but the whole point of it is that it doesn't give you that psycho feel something. So yeah, it's just
We add
interesting.
CBD into almost everything we do. We have our own rosin press, so when we're pressing bud, we'll actually add critical mass, which is a CBD bud, in with our squish,
Okay.
so that we get, that extra CBD.
So that is in the rosin that you get?
It's in the
I mean,
rosin that we press.
It's going to be CBD and THC, not one or the other?
They're building more like a 1-to-1 base, so they're getting the
Nice.
entourage cannabinoid effect.
Nice.
Yes.
So CBD's great. We're not putting down CBD. We all love CBD.
Oh,
CBD's good for the body.
They work
But
better together,
but
right?
we all know that when you have a higher levels of THC with CBD, which is called the entourage effect, yeah, the cannabinoids work a lot more efficiently to the THC1 and THC receptors than just straight CBD and just straight CBD.
Yeah.
We all know that when we take straight THC, we're getting that psychotropic effect. CBD is a non-psychoactive effect. You put those two together, and they're both medicinal. They both do amazing things for the body. We're getting that universe, that entourage infinity.
Yeah.
So,
I like them both. I love them all. I love it all. All right. Well, we are going to let Miss Irene introduce herself for a few, and we will come back to your amazing story. And I have to say again, I so appreciate you, Vicki, coming on and sharing with us. Your whole story is really amazing, and I hope we get to get into it a little bit more this evening because you've been through quite a lot. Although I have to admit, if you tell the whole story, I'm going to need some tissue because I'm already almost crying over here. And like I said, I just think you are so brave and so strong, and I appreciate you sharing your story in any capacity with our viewers because it's important that people hear and that people hear, that if you have cancer, there is some relief. If you have, you can live, you can outlive these things. And I say that, I actually know someone who recently was, they found a mass in their bones and they're really, really scared. And so obviously, cancer, cannabis is one of the things we've already talked about. And I was like, RSO, every day, like right now, you need to start.
Absolutely.
Right? And so they're like, well, what is RSO? Like, she's only used to smoking THC. And so, even then she didn't really have her medical card, so it's like, well, maybe it's time to get the medical card. And so these are the conversations that we have to have. And so I think her hearing these stories and other people hearing these stories hopefully will kind of give them hope and understanding of maybe how to use this as medicine if they don't. And if they do use this as medicine, maybe they'll find other new ways to use it too. So hopefully that's hopefully what we can share.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so who are you, my dear?
Oh, jeez. I'm Irene Limon, a Canna Kitty paint shop. I'm an artist on Instagram
And a patient in our community?
definitely a patient. I have 3 years. Haven't been smoking that long. I started when I was 20, and I'm 24 right now. So only 4 years. It was actually recommended to me by a neurologist. I have cluster migraines, and I'm not even fully sure what it means. It's just a bunch of different types of migraines, not just a single, it's only your left side that hurts. I get the whole wraparounds, and it was awful to be told that it was, stress, and you're kind of making it up. It's an invisible thing. It's invisible pain. Nobody sees it. And especially when I look and I can act like I do.
Mm-hmm. Anyone who hasn't had a migraine ever doesn't know. I mean, you could literally want to take a ice pick to your own head. Am I
Exactly.
wrong to say that? But
No,
I
yeah.
have them. So you.
I actually had I have a little girl. She had to experience me going through one before I was able to medicate because I try to wait till the evening time as much as possible. And she was afraid because she saw how painful it was that I'm crying and can barely move to the kitchen to get myself a glass of water. So it's definitely something that took over my life for a long time.
For sure. So when you medicate, what type of ways do you medicate, and do you use sativa or indica?
So I try to stay more towards indica for whatever reason. High sativas give me migraines. It's a big trigger, and it kind of sucks when you're around friends, and that's kind of like the pick-me-up. It's supposed to get you going, but mine's definitely more pain. I smoke flower occasionally now because my kids are getting bigger. And I mostly go towards edibles again because it lasts all day long and it's not too heavy as long as you're really careful with your dosages.
Yes, which is an experiment in itself when you're beginning, correct? Use some Undo Handy just for now, or CBD.
Yep, CBD.
Right.
I've been playing with CBD recently, trying to learn as much as I can to pinpoint the best strains for me, best methods of using, medicating.
Cool. I think it's hard, especially as patients, we go into dispensaries or even if you go to events, there's so many products and there's so many different brands and there's so much that if you have anxiety or anything where it's overwhelming already,
It gives you anxiety just going into a
yes,
dispensary.
some of these things can be very, anxietyful. I'm just, even when I was in California, I went to a dispensary and I was just very overwhelmed. And it was like, "Ma." And then I left and I was like, oh, I did not get a good deal. I did not get and it was partially my fault because I was so overwhelmed that I couldn't, digest the full menu or whatever. But it was also, I don't think that everyone always thinks about how us as patients have anxiety and stuff. Even some of the large events that I love, and I love events, and I put on an event that was pretty big too, so I'm just saying, but like, if you have anxiety at a point, you're like, oh my god, this is a lot of people and a lot of vendors, get me out of here. Like, nice to see you, but I gotta go now. At least that's how I know I feel sometimes, or even after a day of my own event. It's just, it can be a lot,
Yeah, I definitely feel that, especially so with painting, I've been asked to do live art, and it's fun, and then I realize people are staring at me and they're watching, and I'm like, oh, I'm the entertainer right now. So it definitely gets you out of that awful mind space.
Yeah.
Lets you relax and do what you're doing and focus on what you're doing.
Yes.
Without feeling any of the judgment.
Yes, totally different. So I know as patients, so we all medicate for different reasons and use different types of cannabis. What types of obstacles or challenges have you guys maybe faced as cannabis users or patients in the industry, or what would be like maybe the biggest challenge or biggest obstacle? And on the flip side of that, what would be something that's really, really positive that's come out of your cannabis use that you would, think about and be able to share? So I'm gonna tag you first this time.
Me?
Yeah, we're gonna go this way this time.
Okay. I think the hardest thing is that the stigma of like judgment, of having everybody judge what you're doing, and they see it as the dare thing. Like, this is your egg, this is your egg, this is your brain drugs. And that's what they associate it with, but it's not. It's like one of the most healing herbs. It's a magic herb.
It absolutely is. And as a mom, you kind of made a comment that I think is normal, but also not a part of us normalizing it, because again, like as a mom, God mom, Fez mom, whatever type of mom I am, I will drink a beer in front of my god kids, step kids. They all, I'm going to be honest at this point, pretty much everyone knows I do medicine. I don't really try to hide it.
Yeah.
But even that, I definitely am not doing bong hits in front of my, god babies or anybody, right? Yeah. But at the same time, I drink a beer in front of them, and so like, at what point do we normalize it and we say like, this is my medicine? And if I was taking an antibiotic or a prescription drug or a vitamin, I would do it in front of them. So like, we still have to get over our own stigmas that we've kind of taught our brains about this, as far as like what's normal and not normal. And so I think that's a hard part as a mom, and even as someone who I host foreign exchange students, and it's like, again, of course I don't want to be just smoking out in front of them, but like, why am I not? And not that I should be, again, blowing it in the face or doing anything ridiculous, but like, why would it matter if I had an edible on the counter and I said, that's my medicine and you don't touch it? Like, why not? I'm starting to.
No, I definitely do it as well. She knows I do have a box up higher because they do get into everything. My son, he's 1 year old, turning 2, so he's in everything.
Wait till he's turning 12 and can actually reach that stuff or find the ladder too. You're in real big trouble.
But she knows like that's my medicine. She'll ask. She knows that it looks sometimes it looks like candy. Sometimes it looks like something she'd like. But she doesn't really question it anymore. She's only 6, so I try to educate her a little bit. This is medicine. This is something you can take whenever you feel like it. This is mommy's medicine. And I hope that she doesn't need to use things like THC so young, you know, but CBD products definitely. I want to normalize this sort of stuff and bring it in. But yeah, I don't see.
Start with some gummies.
Yeah.
Or some peanut butter. Mine loves the peanut butter from OMG, just saying. Or some Ritz crackers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll have to. Have you had our peanut butter?
I'll
have to get you some.
It's good.
It's a great way to introduce it to your kid. Just make sure you get the CBG jar because she has some THC stuff. And one time I did it, I was like, I had to ask. It was a good thing because I'm a sharer. Well, thank you, and thank you for sharing. So, what would you say a positive has been?
Definitely the community. You guys have all been so uplifting. I always felt odd, like the odd person. I never understood why we were doing certain things, even like playing with dolls. Something so simple. I was like, well, this is really weird, but okay. I feel like you guys have definitely helped bring me out of my shell, and I would have never gotten in front of a camera and talked about this.
Well, welcome. See, we're breaking all your shells. Love it. Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming out, and it definitely takes a lot of bravery to come on, you know, a platform like this and talk. We're not just a podcast, and not, again, knocking podcasts, but it's not just our voices. This is your face. It's out there. I put it on YouTube. I put us on WeedTube. We're on Facebook. We're on IG. I mean, we're out there. So it does take a lot to be a mom and to say those things. And, you know, I think, again, to normalize it, we need more people to continue to do this. So definitely appreciate you doing that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Ms. Vicki, before you tell us your challenges and obstacle, you be gifted some amazing stuff in the front of those treats. And I'd like to know what they are. So while you do that, we're going to cut this. We're going to multitask. So, and if anyone's wondering, that's a Shine Blunt rolled by Weed Perfect with some yummy stuff from NPCC on it and some flour. And this is a giveaway we're going to do. But this is some amazing soap, right?
Happy Bubbles. That's my Happy Bubbles soap. It's goat's milk soap, so it lathers really well. And it has CBD in it. And the Dirty Dog is the same formula as the goat's milk soap. And I just thought the Dirty Dog was kind of cute. You could actually use it for your dog or give it to your boyfriend, because they're all dirty dogs.
All right.
But it does have CBD in it, and I also add rosemary for shelf life, so they do last long.
And you also suggest putting them in the little mesh bags and hanging them so they don't
They have their own little mesh
wasted.
bags, and they're exfoliating.
It's tucked right there if you want to grab it.
Oh, yeah. It's exfoliating, and it also makes the soap hang so that it doesn't disintegrate in the soap dish.
Which is or get your counter all nasty.
Yes, and I make the soap bags too.
You make those?
Yep.
You are so amazing.
Ms. Vicki, could you educate me? What is the benefits of goat milk?
Are you trying to take my job? No.
Goat's milk is
my
moisturizing. It's very moisturizing, and it's bubbly. Ooh, thank you.
God, thank you.
Where's your stuff? Hold on, wait, don't eat it yet. Don't eat it. Hold on.
So before y'all stuff that mouth, I'm going to
Wait,
go
and
ahead
then
and
come back. You're going to come back and tell us about the goat milk. But
so as that is CBD and delicious, we all know that we like THC. So this is D Treats'
you're going to want to hold it over
educated
here.
THC kitchen line here, and this is called cannabinoid overload. This is our Tres Leche Dolce Caramel. And in this sucker was about 2,500 milligrams of THC, so.
Oh my gosh, I love caramel and chocolate.
You're going to be so happy. It's so good.
I gotta be a fat kid right here, so.
Oh, that's fabulous.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My mouth is watering.
Look, everyone's got different people have to drive. Some people have got drivers.
She's like, I got church in the morning.
It's whatever. We appreciate you being here.
There we go.
So we're gonna each take a piece, and then
Oh
we're
my
gonna
gosh,
pass
that
a
is
piece to
so
the
good.
camera guys. So there's 3 of you though. There's 2 pieces. If we take the smaller pieces, can you guys figure out a way to share the 2 pieces?
And you
between
said
the 2?
this is organic?
So you take that one.
All organic. It's not made
I
by...
thought organic stuff didn't taste good. This is fabulous.
Oh,
Well, thank you, Miss Vicky. And that is a misconception and a fad because organic stuff does taste really good
We
and
share.
delicious. Take it for Disney.
will.
Hashtag shout out Disney. What's up? If you go to the Disneyland parks or Disney World, okay, most of all the restaurants are in there, other than the fast food places and the shops. All right, it's all organically and fresh, made daily. All right, in the restaurants. All their edibles are made daily. All right. All the edibles at the end of the day get donated to the homeless foundation and children foundations throughout the community of Anaheim and Orlando. So, but these get made daily, freshly, daily. So we have to think about the organic refined materials.
Oh, wow.
just a tip: if you do go to not Disney but Universal with the Harry Potter, if anyone is a Harry Potter fan, J.K. Rowling personally came and approved the menu there, so you know it's like the best of all of the menus. Just
Oh,
saying.
wow.
Dude, we need to go do a Bud Card show at Hogwarts.
Ooh, that would be amazing. Would they let us in? Would they let us in? We have our golden wands. Would they let us in? I love it. All right, so one more time. What's the benefit of CBD in goat milk?
Goat's milk is
Goat's milk,
very, very moisturizing. It's
Okay.
very good for, like especially, I met a gentleman that had really bad psoriasis. He uses my soap because for one thing it is moisturizing, but also the CBD gives him a little relief.
Okay. I'm excited. My husband loves Bard soap, by the way, so I know he's going to be excited. There's going to be a Bud Card member or 2 that's super excited because we're going to give a couple of these away.
We're actually working on a new soap that's going to be for the shower, liquid for the shower.
Ooh!
Maybe we can chat about having you honor the Bud Card too.
We'll call it the Biggie Wash.
I love it. I love it. So this is great. So what would be, not to skip, but I just see your time clocking down, and our show is not 8 hours, although the show is. So what would be one of your, and you don't necessarily have to pay exactly to that.
Okay.
What would be your biggest challenge as a patient, or biggest obstacle that you've had to face, and what would be the most positive thing that's come out of being a customer that you think other people should know about?
Over the years, being that I always had a job, I always worked. Over the years, hiding the smell, going to work, and I had like a really, really responsible job. I was diamond manager for Jared Jewelers in Chicago. Hiding pot use is not an easy thing. Especially when you smoke as much as I do.
And big pretty tie sticks.
Love the tie sticks. Yeah, I'd say trying to. I don't have to anymore. I mean, we're
It's
legal
the
now.
stigma, right.
We're legal now. Yeah. But yeah, I would say that
Still
was
hard
the
to get
biggest.
jobs though,
Very,
right?
very,
Still hard to get jobs.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that just because we're legal, right? I mean, that doesn't mean you
I
can
couldn't
get
take a job that I was drug tested at.
Yeah.
Thank God I never was, but.
And that's, I feel like there's so many people still in our community that are in that same boat. There's people who don't have their cards, who still use cannabis, who definitely can't get jobs. I've been told that the job technically can't not hire you unless they're federally funded, but obviously I'm not the job, so I don't know, and I'm sure they could find other reasons not to hire you if they didn't want to, right? But I think that's definitely a hard, and even if you do smoke cannabis, if anyone finds out you smoke cannabis, then you're like targeted or pinpointed in some way as, you know,
Absolutely.
which is crazy, and especially if you've already been known to do your job well. I think
Yes.
that's the crazy thing. I was super blessed at one of my positions, because more than one, actually, 2 of my positions, I did a really good job, and so by the time they found out I did cannabis, it was like, wait, you're coming to work every day. I was like, yeah, I'm medicating, and you don't want to see me not like this.
You're not a slugger?
Yeah, like, you don't want to see me not medicated because I won't be able to get this shit done. So let's just make sure I'm good, you're good, we're good, you know. But it's hard because even then it's, you know, if they weren't
it's the
cool
stigma.
bosses or someone who did recognize that I did get my job done, then they could have easily said, you know, adios. So I think that is hard. Positive. What's a positive that came out of it?
Several years ago, I read a Canadian magazine that was called Treating Yourself. It was made by a publisher named Marco Renda. And one of the writers for that magazine that would submit articles every once in a while was a doctor from California by the name of Dr. David Allen. And I read one of his articles one time, and it was like, oh my God, that's me. I could never figure out, you know, what is it that allows me to live when so many other people. I'm 60. I'm going to be 65 years old this year. They didn't ever expect me to. My doctors told me that in my 40s sometime I could expect to get cancer from all the radiation that I'd had to kill the original cancer.
Right.
So I just, you know, always figured that I wouldn't really live that long, and I couldn't figure out, you know, what makes the big difference. And I swear to God, when I read that article on collateral circulation that Dr. David Allen wrote, I was like, that's why I lived. That's why I live, because somehow or another, pot doesn't promote, you know, your arteries to grow more arteries. You're not going to grow more arteries, but what it does do is it helps your arteries carry more blood somehow. And I don't know, I'm not a doctor, I don't know how that works, but when I saw that article in that magazine, I thought, that's why I've lived all these years.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's true. Yeah.
No. It's amazing. Well, again, I super appreciate you guys sharing your story with me, with us, with all of us. I'm sure there's more too, so hopefully we can do another patient segment. Maybe I should have had less patients come on in one night so I could have done longer versions. But I also I know some of these stories, you guys will have me bawling. They will have you bawling at home too. I'm already there and I have no tissue, so I just want to say, these are real patients who have real stories, who are amazing. They are troopers in our community. Again, I super appreciate you coming out. So I have some small gifts for you before we go away. So hold on.
Do I get to keep the blue
keep
gummies?
the bears. Keep the bears. Go ahead. Yeah, keep the bears.
All right, so gifts. All right, so I got gifts. Wait. Okay, so I got a couple things. All right, so I have some chocolate for everyone, but I have hold on. So I have a Stony Yoni. This is some sexual nom-nom, so I don't know which one of you ladies would like it.
It works for him too.
This is great. This is a product from Sublime. I'm giving this to you as patient to patient. I know you both have your medical cards and I'm sharing, so I'm not making any money off of this. It is infused with THC. That's why I'm saying this, because we are on air. I just want to be clear. So Sublime, this is an amazing product. I just want to say, definitely from experience, I could say it's an amazing product. And so Stephen already concurred also. So it is a great product. Sublime will actually be with us next week, and they are one of our sponsors. So I don't know which one of you ladies would like this one. But I also have a free 75 milligram of Baked Bros goodies for the other one of you who would like that. So
you choose first.
Well, I was going to say, I actually already have one of these little trials.
Oh, well, then it looks like you're getting your free card.
Hey, Mr. Lucker.
So there's some baked goods. You have to turn that in at True Meds. And then I think, all right, and then I have another goodie. So everyone, oops, it's falling out. Okay. Oops, I'm falling out. So one of our art sponsors is Live 1904. He's a local art sponsor who does just amazing work. So we super appreciate him. He donates to the Bud Card on a regular basis. And again, his work is amazing. You're later. So I did bring one for you, though, I swear. So I would say you guys got THC, so you each pick a sticker. If you really want a poster, you can have one.
those.
But you want the poster or you want the sticker? You can have the poster if you.
Can I have the poster?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ooh, that is so cool.
All right, what do you want? What do you want, my dear?
Pick it up my opposite.
There you go. All right, you're gonna have to pick now, otherwise you're not gonna get your pick of the night.
Son of a donkey.
So this one is actually numbered and signed.
I'll take this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, look what I got.
So this again, Live 1904, local artist. So we have some other treats for other guests this evening. Just a way to say thank you. I know you guys are patient. You take your time and energy to come out here, so I wanted to say a small thank you from the Bud Card and the Bud Show, and you obviously give amazing treats all the time to us, so we super appreciate you.
Well,
and
we
so again,
appreciate all the hard work that
thank
you
you.
do.
Aw,
This
thank
takes
you.
a lot of hard work
Thank
to
you
put this
very
together.
much.
Well, and a great team that we have behind the scenes. Before we break, so just a couple things real quick. We're going to come back with some different patients, some different edibles from Discreet Treats. Super excited. We might leave these soaps up here just for the visual because they're awesome and amazing. We are going to smoke this beautiful blunt rolled by Weed Perfect during the break, so we are ecstatic about this. This is a Shine paper. My wonderful husband got me this for Christmas, and then we did the Shine scavenger hunt together, and I actually won the Shine case. So super excited, and try to share my blessings when I come on the show with all of my amazing community
That's
here.
so
Yeah.
cool.
So,
Bam.
so we're gonna go smoke this, and it's awesome because it smokes like butter or like gold. But when you burn it, the ashes also has a gold tint, which is kind of cool. And then last but not least, we're doing an amazing giveaway on this show, and I'm still trying to think how we're going to do it. So this is a DVD called The Justice System. We're going to be giving away, and so you definitely need to use the hashtag The Bud Show and hashtag The System. So I'm going to say, we're going to say the 9th person who uses the hashtag The Bud Show and The System. Look, he's taking out his phone. So the 9th person who does that will be the lucky winner of this DVD. I don't know why I came up with the number 9. Just came up with, seemed like a good one. So this is supposed to be an amazing story. Basically, it is written about about corruption, racism, and prejudice. So we're going to see a lot of good stuff in this film, and we'll kind of open some layers of thought. Ooh, turn it off, turn it off. That's why you can't have your phone in here. See, he's breaking all kinds of rules. So hashtag the system and hashtag The Bud Show, and the 9th person to do that on Facebook, not on Instagram. On Facebook will be the winner. All right. All right. So we're going to go break. We're going to smoke this. We'll see you on a little bit. Next Sunday, we're going to be at OMG Goodness CBD breakfast launch party, by the way. We can't freaking wait. We'll tell you a little bit more about that when we come back. Vicky's going to have her amazing soap there. So if you were wondering where to get it, you can get it there. Yeah. And we're super excited. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Come back for session 2.